Howdy, howdy, howdy. My name is Data. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to cover the North Pole map, also known as the Septentriolium Terrarum. That is Latin. That translates to Septentriolium means northern, and Terrarum means world. So we're going to check out a map from 1595. This is going to be the first edition map created by author Gerardus Mercator, all the way back in 1595. And you know, one of these, if you happen to find one, they can be very valuable. Sold for $30,000 recently. So check your collections. Maybe you have one stashed away somewhere. Today I'm going to translate the sections of the map from Latin to English so everybody can get an idea of what the text actually says. And then at the end, I'm going to put it all together in like a paragraph form. So we're going to check these out separately. This is going to be a Latin to English translation because the map was made in Latin. And as a side note, Latin is the base root language for English, or at least USA. A lot of our words derive from that. So if more people spoke Latin, that would be pretty cool. Back to the map, I'm going to go section by section, and let's check some of these out. Why don't we start on the outside of the ring? I'm going to go to a city called Bargu, which will be referenced later, so I'll mention that now. I'll mention a couple of these spots. So let me flip the screen and we'll go check that out. Going straight to Bargu, campestri coram incolor voran tur merito. That kind of translated into of the barbarians are devoured by the rich. Now, I'm not sure what that reference is. Maybe it has some kind of meaning back in the day, but that is what it says over there. So we'll move on to the next one. Moving over, it says California Regio sola fama Hispanis nota, which translated to California is the only region known to the Spanish. Next, I'm going to jump over to the giant lake. Hic mare est dalsium aquarum cutus terrarum ignorare canadens ex relatus eguma fum giant. This is the Sea of Sweet Water, the land of the unknown Canadians, and the report of the giant outline. So that probably means that they're reporting that the lake, which is fresh water up there, is very large. And in recent times, that may be called Bear Lake, because that is also one of the largest freshwater lakes. I want to jump over to the top right in the circle. This particular island area was highlighted, and some of the words in there were diamanten and scopuli, and that could translate to diamond rocks or diamond-shaped rocks, or the rocks are made of diamonds. So that was an interesting area. I have no idea what is actually up there. I'm not claiming those are diamonds, but hey, you never know. Okay, that was an overview of the outside, some interesting things. I'm not sure what we can glean out of that, but I'm going to head over to the inside circle, and we're going to do a translation of that. This is where it's going to start to get even more interesting if it hasn't been interesting enough with the diamonds and the giant lakes. All right, let me switch back over, and we're going to go check these out. I'm going to head over to the first island, and I'm not going to read it in Latin. I'll just give the translation. Roughly, this is: the ocean is often found between these, the flowing rivers and the straits. It is said to flow indefinitely towards the north, where it is absorbed into the earth's depths. The cliffs around the pole have a circumference of about 33 leagues. Heading over to the next quadrant, this one was a little tricky. In the northern parts of Bargu, which is the city we mentioned earlier, it is said that M. Paulus Venn, in Book 1, Chapter 6, they, I don't know who they is, tend only towards the center so that the Arctic pole seems to bend towards the south. Moving over to the next quadrant, this is going to be the fun one you've been waiting for. Pygmies live here. They're 4 feet tall at most, and whom those in Greenland called lingerers. Lingerers could mean people that have been there for a long time. So that is the particular quadrant that has the Pygmies living in it. What do you think about that? Moving into the next quadrant, this has to do with the rivers. This strait has 5 openings, and due to the narrowness, the rapid flow is now frozen. That's pretty much all it says. It just mentions the river flow that goes through there. I'm going to move over. The next one has to do with this river enters the Ostis 3 times, and every year for about 3 months, it freezes. It has a length of about 37 leagues. Moving over to the next one. This one's a pretty simple translation. It just means this island is the best and healthiest of the whole north, which I would imagine means it's probably the most habitable. Next up, I'm jumping directly to the center, the Rupes Nigra et Altissima, which translates to black and very high cliffs. This is supposed to be the Rupes Nigra, which was a very large magnetic rock up in the North Pole. Not very sure about the whole history of that, but that is what it translated to. That was a general translation of all the particular quadrants and sections that were written. And let's see what this kind of flows like. So this could be what the message was about the North Pole. In the midst of the 4 countries is a whirlpool, into which these empty 4 indrawing seas, which divide the north, and the water rushes round and descends into the earth, just as if one were pouring it through a filter funnel. It is 4 degrees wide on every side of the pole, or 8 degrees altogether, except that right under the pole there lies a bare rock in the midst of the sea. Its circumference is almost 33 French miles, and it is all of magnetic stone. So that's just a general idea of what they were thinking the North Pole was way back in the day. So I hope that helped you guys out with the translation, and we'll see you in the next video. I want you to stay safe. Have a good time out there. Bye-bye.